Hello, Professor, and someone who watched this video. And today, I am going to demonstrate about my progress that I working in the team of 4 members that we do about the data structure, and we cover topic the best video game. So now let's start. And here library that we use in this program, and here are the function that we use. We also use the num and star as well. And now we move on to the main. And here we store the data set that we initialize in this program, about 20 data set. And yeah, so now let's see the 20 datasets that I store. I use array to store 20 datasets here about the best video game. And then we use do while loop to like conversion list process. Like we display the main menu to pick one to display the dataset or add dataset, delete like that, so on. And here we store the dataset again by if the user add something or delete something in the dataset. We go to the condition when the user input number one to display by using the virtue enumerator. Then yes, let the user to input a choice, like when the user input number one display like this. For about display all game record, sort by name, sort by gender, sort by date, and display all game like this. And program here, yeah, when the user input a choice A, B, C, or D, the program will work without error. And if the user input different from A, B, C, D, and then the program demand the user to input again. And here, when the user input one of A, B, C, or D, and then we check in this function, and let's see the function. And here is display by sort. When the user choose A, the program will check like this, and yes, and sort by this way, and yeah. And then now test the program together. Here is I work on display, so yeah, I choose number one to display. Yeah, so you can see display. You can display sort by name, sort by gender, and sort by that. And I will choose sort by name. I press A, and then here is the dataset, 20 dataset that sort by name.
So moving on to my part is to search for the data. And in here, we are declaring a bunch of variables, and we are using the cin to receive the input from the users, and also the while loop for the looping back the selection when the user input incorrectly. And when the users input correctly, it will prompt the users to input the game name according to the choice that the users input in the first place. And here it is the actual implementation of the function, which is the use loop to iterate through each index to find the matching letters. So here we are storing the original data because to keep the original form, because we will convert both the input and the original data into lowercase letter, which is why we do it that way. And it's also easier for us to compare. And we compare the words one by one letter by one letter. And if the users input it will show anything that starts with If the users input Minecraft, it will show only Minecraft, because it is specific that the users only want to see the Minecraft if the users input like that. And here in the count exists, we are counting the occurrence of the matching word or letter. If it is more than 0, it will display the data to the screen. And here, if it is equals to 0, it means that the data does not exist. So let me just compile it and put it for you. And we put 2, and we search for the game name, Minecraft, and here it will display Minecraft. And I can also just put A, and then just put it will show anything that starts with and it doesn't matter if it is uppercase or lowercase, it will show. And also you can also search for genre like C, RPG. It will show anything that has RPG genre. So for my next function is to add. For add is very simple, and here we are using the while loop to add the data and information, and the getLine as well to receive the information. And also we are converting the first letter of the input to be the uppercase, because it is grammatically correct in that way, because name for name and stuff like that, the first letter must be the uppercase letter. And here we use the if and the for loop to adjust the size of the storage according to the user's input, because the size is very inconsistent. If the users add more, the size will be different after that. That's why we do that. So let me just test it for you. For the add 3, you can add anything that you want. Here it is displayed to the terminal, and then you can continue or not, depends on you. I'm just gonna test a continue for you, and rating, and then release years and everything, and it still shows here. And if you want to quit, just put on and it will quit like that.
So now let's move on to the next part. Delete if the user input number 4. So we declare a string called search for the user to input a name of the video game that they want to delete. And then we declare a variable called boolean expression equal to false and display a menu bar for it. For this for loop is used to search for the video game that the user input if it is equal to the video game that we store in the data set or not. And if it is equal, count exists equal true, and count me will be subtract by 1. However, since a data is deleted from a data set, so we're going to store all data again by replacing the deleted data by another data accordingly. And we're going to display by sort for the user. And in this part, if the count exists equal false, we're going to display the game does not exist. And that part, we also display the table for them. So now let's compile together. And here I already add like 2 data for it. So now let's delete it. We're gonna delete the data that we store first, like here. So you see, Doom 6 is deleted. And if we want to continue deleting, we can delete it. And right now I want to delete the data that we add. So I just put like exact the name in the data, so it can be deleted as well.
So now that we're here in the updating part of the program, let me briefly explain how this part works. So what this updating part do is it allows the user to change the dataset and to update the strings in the dataset. For example, they can change the name of the video game, the genre, the rating, the release date, and the developer. So how it does this is using a loop where it loops through the 20 games in the dataset, and then every string in the struct, it will be replaced by the new data that the user inputted, which is a string. And yes, it repeats that for every type, for example, rating, genre, release date, developer, etc. And after that, it will display the new program but with the updated information from the user. And yeah, so let me first explain how this part works. So I click on 5. Here, as you can see, there's 5 parts. You can update the game name, the rating, the genre, the release date, or the developer. For example, I want to change their name. Let's put an existing game name, Portal 2, and then I can change it to hello, for example. And as you can see, the game Portal 2 will be changed to hello. And once again, I can continue to change the rating of that. If I put in hello and I change the rating to 0, and as you can see, the rating for hello will now be 0. So that is basically it for the updating part. Thank you.